begin with the next heading, essential features of maps. Now, we know that any map would be useless, would be of no information if these three things are not present. Firstly, it is the direction. That means to know in a map which particular area is the north direction, which is the southern, which is the western and eastern. Like supposing if we just see this map of India, what if we just invert it? We will not get the idea till the direction is specified. Like if you see this map, you will know that it is the above area. This is north and below is south. This is west and this is east. So every map should have a direction specified. And if you have a map at hand somewhere near you, a blank map maybe, you will see that a map always shows directions. So we'll read out. There are three components of maps: direction, distance, and symbol. When you look at the map, you will notice the following features. Number one, please mark it number one. Though maps can be of various shapes and sizes, the latitude and longitude of the area, excepting sketch maps, are usually mentioned along the edges of the map. Now, if you see the edges of the map, mm, wait a second. If you see the edges of the map, you will see that the longitudinal and latitudinal degrees are written. Can you see these numbers on top? These are the degrees, okay? And these are the latitudinal degrees. See, 23.5 degrees, you have Tropic of Cancer running all across. Yeah, so the degrees are given, and this tells you the direction. This Tropic of Cancer is telling you that yes, this is the northern part, this is the southern part. Can you see? And so it tells you the direction. Now, usually at the top corner of the map, you will see that the direction or cardinal points are marked by the vertical line with the narrow line showing N pointing to the north. So many a times it is the direction which is shown through this N. Can you see this here? Now in most of the maps it is drawn always. Okay, to show you which direction they belong to, which is the north. So north is always pointed out. Clear? Now coming to the next heading, turnover. Yes. Now they are telling you some facts. We'll come back to these facts just now. First, let us do this page. So the second point here, they tell you, can you hear me? The second point, they tell you at the bottom or corner of the map, the scale of the map to represent distance are marked as 1 centimeter is equal to 10 kilometers. Can you see the scale given here? This is the scale. And if you see in a map, most of the time it is given in a map. The scale is given. Here it is not. Here. Can you see the scale here? Down in my left hand side where delete button was. Can you see the scale given here? Or you can look up in your own book. The scales on a map are given. So for the second point, children, please mark at the bottom sharing. Mark from here. At the bottom of corner of the map the scale of the map to represent distance are marked. I have only put a bracket after distance. You put a bracket are marked. Okay, this is your second point. Then number 3, conventional signs and symbols represent details without making the map clumsy. This whole point is your third point. And right here, E2 plus E5. That
Ma'am,
means answer E2. Yes, child.
ma'am, please can you repeat? Ma'am, answer E1. Ma'am, E2,
Okay.
sorry.
E2. I'm repeating the answer E2.
Okay.
It begins from this page. I will zoom it. Where you have marked D1, that is also a part of E2 and E5. Then I will read out the E2 and E5 answer. There are three components of maps: direction, distance, and symbol. Then first point, though maps can be of various shapes and sizes, the latitude and longitude of the area are usually mentioned along the edge of the map. Usually at the top of the map, you will see that the direction or cardinal points are marked by the vertical line with an arrow, a north line pointing to the north. This is the first point of E1, sorry, E2 and E5. Then after that, coming to the second point, it is number 2, at the bottom or corner of the map, or the scale of the map to represent distance are marked only till here. Then third point, conventional signs and symbols represent details without making the map clumsy. Got it?
Yes,
This
ma'am.
is your mark this answer as E2 and E5. Let me quickly read out these E2 and E5 questions for you. E2 is saying, describe the main features of the three types of maps. Got it? And then E5 says, explain briefly the three components of a map. Now, these two questions, when you are writing, you will write E1 as a separate question and do the answer. You will write E2 and E5 together. You write both these questions together, E2 and E5. You will write E2 question, then you write and then you write E5 and you write this question. After you write these both questions together, then you will write this answer which we have marked just now. Okay? So now we have done E1, E2, and E5. Am I clear till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, okay. Now moving further. Directions. Directions for locating places on the map or ground. Now, how is direction located on a map also and on the ground also? Let us see. Direction is the most important component of a map. It is important and useful to describe where one place is in relation to another. With reference to the north line, four major directions, north, south, east, and west, can be determined. They are shown, they are known as cardinal directions, and the points are referred to as cardinal points. The intermediate directions in between these points are northeast, southeast, northwest, southwest, and northwest. Now, mark this whole paragraph as your D4 answer. You will begin marking mark from here till the end as D4, and then this particular diagram you will do for D4. Okay, now they are telling you the graph tells you in comparison to one place with another. Now, here you know that it is north on the top, south below, west, and east. These are the four cardinal directions. These are the four major directions: north, south, east, west. Then there
Excuse me, ma'am.
are, yes,
Ma'am, I'm saying that after this paragraph in new book there is also a line given. They are also called ordinal directions. We have to write this also.
please write it, and I will also add this. Just a second. What is it written? They are, tell me,
Uh, Ma'am, they are also called
they are also called, yes,
ordinal directions.
ordinal.
Yes, ma'am.
They are also called ordinal directions. Yes, you please
Ma'am,
add this also.
is
This
to
also.
represent answer D4.
D4, yes. You will mark this
Ma'am,
whole paragraph. Ah, yes.
ma'am, which diagram we have to make in D4?
The one which is visible on the screen just now.
Okay,
Okay,
ma'am, thank you.
wait a second. I will show you the new picture. Now, can you see? I've just now added this. So your answer will begin from here, D4, till they are also known as ordinal directions till here. And then this particular diagram you are supposed to draw, not this one. Clear? This diagram you will draw. Did you get it?
Okay,
Okay. Now we come on to next heading. Just quickly let me read D4 question for you. Now D4 is saying name the four cardinal directions and four intermediate directions. So this is the question D4 which you'll do. Did you get it? So C 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 we have done. Then D1. D1 we did it last time, isn't it? D2 we have marked. Have we marked D2? Just read the
No,
question and see. No.
no.
Okay, so let us quickly mark D2 and D3 also. Come to page 122 in my book. Now D2 answer is this. Physical maps contain information about relief features or landforms of the Earth's surface like mountains, peaks, plateaus, plains, rivers, oceans, etc. Then you will draw a line on the other side, you'll write political maps. Political maps show the boundaries between different countries along with their states, capitals, cities, towns, and villages. This is your D2. That means you did not see the explanation number 2, which I sent you. So D1 is marked, D2 is marked. Now coming on to D3, thematic maps. The question was, what do thematic maps show? Now the answer is here. Thematic maps show only selected features. They are based on specific information. They may be cultural maps depicting roads, railways, industries, minerals, populations, etc. They may be climatic maps showing rainfall or temperature. They may be geographical maps based on types of rocks and their age. Such maps may also depict such vegetations. Now, this, did you get it? D2 and D3. At least tell me.
Ma'am, please repeat D3.
Yes, ma'am, your voice was not clear.
Okay, so see here, C1 is done, C2 is done, C3 is done, 4 is done, 5 is done. Then coming on to D1 is done, D2 is done, D3 is done. Clear? D4, we did it just now. E1 we have done, E2 we have done, E5 we have done. Is this much clear? Till now
Yes,
we have done these many.
yes, ma'am.
That means D5 is left, E3 and E4 are left, right? Only these three questions are left. Did you get it?
Yes, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So after doing directions, we move on to the next heading called We Can Find Directions By. Now this is your answer E3. First mark it, then I'll tell you. E3, this whole 1 point, second point, and the third point. Put E3 for you. How can we find directions? Explain. We can find directions by, your answer will begin from here. We can find directions by number one, finding the direction of the rising sun, which would represent east. If your right hand points to the rising sun or east, your left hand would point to the west. So now, first way of finding direction is that you stand in front of the sun and then whichever the way the sun is rising, put your right hand towards that side and spread out. Now, when you spread your right hand towards the sun, that means your left hand would be facing the east. Okay, got it? Then your left hand would point to the, sorry, west. Your left hand would point to the west. North would be in front of you, and south would be towards your back. So, this is one way of finding direction. When you see the sunrise, you are able to find the direction. Your sun would be facing your uh, right hand, and towards your left hand would be the west direction. The face in front of you, which you are facing, would be your north, and your back side would be south. Now, number two, by looking at the pole star in the night sky, as the pole star is vertically above the North Pole. Now, in the night time, when there is no moon, it is all the directions were seen through the pole star. That means the pointing star. Now, the pole star always points in the north direction. So once you know which is west, you know that the other side would be south, and towards your left hand would be west, and towards your right hand it would be east now. Clear? After you face the North Star. Then number three, by using the magnetic compass with north-south directions marked. Now, by using this compass, can you see this compass? Once you use this compass, then you know the direction because the compass always points in the north-south direction. Clear till here? Is this much clear to each one? So we have marked
Yes,
E3 also. We have marked E3 answer also. Clear? Now we come on to this page which we had left. They are showing you on this top side corner, they are showing you the map of Gujarat. Now this is a small scale map showing Ahmedabad in Gujarat. So this is a small scale map, yeah, where a larger area is shown and small places are dealt. Whereas at the same time, this is a large scale map showing details of a part of Ahmedabad city. Now we all know that Ahmedabad is in Gujarat. Here they have showed you Gujarat along with various other places also. So this is a small scale where they have shown you larger area. When you take a larger scale, you show smaller area. And this smaller area like Ahmedabad city's details are shown. Clear? Let's go to the map facts. Number one, earliest map was drawn on a clay tablet in 2300 BC. Please mark this earliest map, then mark clay tablet, then mark 2300. The oldest surviving map were made around 500 BC by the Babylonians on clay tablets. Underline Babylonians. Now, Babylonians were the people of Babylon. They were the ones who made the first map. Okay, underline Babylonians. This all could come as a fill in the blank and one word answer. Then next, the Greek scholar Claudius Ptolemy, underline Claudius Ptolemy, produced maps of the world based on mathematical calculations in the 2nd century AD. Underline 2nd century AD. He was the one, the Greek scholar, underline Greek scholar Claudius Ptolemy, and underline 2nd century AD. Then America and Australia were added on world maps at late as 1668. Underline America and Australia. Please close your mics. America and Australia, underline these two and underline 1668. We stop here for today. Okay. We have another
Okay, ma'am.
class. We have another class. Listen carefully
Ma'am,
and